Hey guys, just wanted to share with you pretty much my routine of my daily stretch. First thing I start out with is my feet. Spreading my toes wide and bending my toes backwards, coming into what is called toes pose. I try to do a little neck stretch here while my toes are stretching. And this pose can be a little bit intense on your feet, but it's so good for people who have feet issues, plantar fasciitis, anything that has to do with the Achilles tendon. I plant my hands down and shift my weight back onto my feet, trying to get my heels flat onto the floor. You may not be able to get that far, but you'll feel an intense stretch in that Achilles. From here, I hug onto my elbows and drop my head, stretching out between my shoulder blades, the back of my neck, the Achilles. I try to hold each pose for about 5 breaths. Go ahead and plant your hands down. Send your legs back. Open your knees up wide, feet together. Push your hips back to your heels, coming into child's pose. Reach those arms out long. Feel the stretch in the low back and hips. Even in the sides of the body, if you are bodybuilding like I have been. It's a pretty tight area for me. And don't forget to keep that Ujjayi breath going. Breathing in deeply through the nose, expanding the belly. And breathing out through the nose, making the breath audible. Pull the belly in towards the spine and lift the pelvic floor. Inhale up to a flat back. And exhale, walk your hands over to the right, keeping your hips connected to your heels, and feel the stretch all down the left side into your lats. Even into your psoas, if you can get over so far, drop your head down. Inhale, push up to a flat back. Exhale, walk your hands over to the left, keeping your hips connected to your heels. And drop that head down, walking the hands out, feeling the stretch in the right side, along the lat, along the oblique muscle and the psoas. down, back up to a flat back. And I usually have some really relaxing music playing while I do this after my workout at night, but of course Facebook won't really let me add music without muting the whole video. So from here I'll usually come to butterfly pose and bring the soles of the feet together, grab onto the ankles. You can open the feet up like a book, squeeze the glutes to give the inside legs a little more room to open. Inhale with a flat back. And exhale, push those elbows down into the thighs, lean forward from the hips, the waist, flat back. You never want to be rounded. These are called folds, not rounds. So you can think about that and really make a little more sense to you on how the position of the body should be. So your spine should be straight and flat as you come down in any fold. So you're trying to work your low belly down to touch first. And then if you can get that to touch, then you can bring your head down more. From here, I'll usually come into Ragdoll. And I just want to say for a second, these stretches are some of the most basic stretches. And if you have any kind of pain, seeing if I have any messages here, I don't see anything. These are so good for any kind of body pain that you have. So I bring my feet hips distance, take a generous bend in my knees, and just let the low belly fall down onto the top of the thighs. I'm going to interlace my hands, my fingers behind my back, straighten the arms, but don't lock out the elbows, and just let the fists hang down over the head. So you should feel a stretch in your hamstrings, through your glutes, into your low back. And with your arms like this, you'll feel a good stretch in the fronts of your shoulders, your chest. Remember to keep that breath going. I'm going to release my hands. I'm sorry, my allergies are really bad right now. Bring them to the floor or to the shins. Come up with a flat back. And then I'm going to flex my quads. Inhale for length. And then exhale, still coming down with a flat back. Bring my hands to the backs of my legs. And pull my body, trying to get it flat to my legs. Let the head hang. You want to bring some more pressure into the fronts of the feet towards the toes to intensify the stretch. Your body always wants to take the path of least resistance, so you always want to lean back into your heels to take some pressure off the stretch, but you want to keep equal weight in the feet. From here, inhale, up with a flat back. Drop your hands down. Step your feet back. Lower down. And I like to take Sphinx Pose first, bringing my elbows under the shoulders and pushing up. And stretching out the front of the body. Make sure you're pushing down into the feet, pushing the pelvic floor, or not the pelvic floor, the pelvic triangle into the mat. Guys, I apologize how I look. I just woke up. I don't really care. No makeup. You stretch out the front of the neck. We don't realize how tight the fronts of our necks get from looking down at our phones and such things like that. And I like to lower down, bring my hands underneath my shoulders, and push up to a high Cobra pose, keeping your shoulders open. Equal weight in the fingers and the palms, so you're not putting too much pressure in one side of the hands or the other. From here, you can't see it from the front, but I'm going to fold my toes under, begin to lift my body, and send my hips back, coming into down dog. Down dog, your feet should be hips distance, working your heels down towards the floor. If you're super tight, your knees can be bent. You want to flex your quads, tilt your tailbone up. Pull your belly in towards your spine. Open up your shoulder blades. Rotate your biceps in. And claw your fingers down into the mat. So again, you're not putting pressure into just your palms. And of course, let your head hang heavy. You never want to have any kind of neck tension here. I like to bend my knees, stretch out the ankles, a little more into the Achilles. Now look to the front of the mat, take my right foot and step it up towards my right hand. Really want to straighten that back leg, keeping the chest long. Feel a stretch in the hip flexor here. Maybe even in the back of the front of the thigh. Coming into a low lunge pose. From here, I like to drop the knee. Top of the left foot comes to the floor. I'm going to heel toe my right foot out at an angle. Sink my hips down and just use my right hand to open that right knee out to the side. From here, keeping the knee pushed out to the side, I'm going to take my right hand and reach it around towards my back foot and pull my back foot in. Come to the side here and show you a little more of how it looks. Really getting into the quadricep, hip flexor. You want to flex the glutes to open up the front of the thigh more. Release that back foot. I'm going to turn back to the front because the hard floor is not very comfortable on the knees. So my right foot is still forward. Work that left knee back until you feel a good stretch in the hip flexor. Now I'm going to heel toe my right foot over to the left. You may need to bring your right foot in towards your hip more if you're not very open. So my right side is a lot tighter than my left, so my foot will come in. Make sure you keep your foot flexed back to protect the knee. And you're going to walk your left knee back a little more. Sit up tall, work your hips down towards the floor. You should begin to feel a stretch in that right glute and hip. This is a pretty intense stretch here. So sitting up tall in the pigeon prep, make sure your back leg isn't rotating out to one side or the other. Try to keep it, the top part, flat and even on the floor. So inhale for length, and then exhale, fold over that front leg, coming down as flat as you can. You may have to stay up on your elbows or even up here. As long as you're feeling the stretch, it doesn't matter. This is one of my favorite stretches, pigeon pose. We tend to keep a lot of emotional stress in our hips. So stretching out the hips is a very important part of my life. Inhale, walk the hands back up. See if you can walk that left knee back just a little bit further. Now, I'll try to move out of the way a little bit. I'm going to put weight into my right hand, reach my left arm around for my foot, and like we did in that lizard pose, I'm going to bring my left foot in, flexing the glute to open up the front of the left thigh even more. You may have to have a strap for this position to wrap around your foot. I know a lot of people do. And it's not anything to be intimidated by. It's just we all have our own levels of flexibility. Some people are born more flexible than others. Other people have to work at it a lot. I was born pretty flexible, but I've always done some sort of flexibility activity. Almost always. I noticed when I stopped doing stretching and things like that, I started having bad back pain and neck pain, hip pain. So this has become a big part of my life. I'm going to release that back leg. See if you can scoot that knee back a little further. You should be able to now since the hip flexors open more. Inhale to pigeon prep again, and then exhale, fold over that right leg. You may feel the stretch a little more intensely in that right hip now. From here, I'm going to inhale up, pushing back at that pigeon prep. Now I'm just going to let my weight fall over into my right hip. Take your left hand, you may need to assist your leg, and just swing your left leg around and stomp your left foot on the outside of your right knee. You may want to sit on a blanket or a block here to make sure both of your sits bones are planted on the floor. From here, I inhale my right arm up. Exhale, begin to twist to the left. I always get a cramp here. Bring my right elbow to the outside of my left knee. pushing my left knee in and turning my upper body to the left, keeping my hips over my shoulders, spine straight, and exhaling, even looking past that left shoulder. Very, very good stretch for the spine here. If you suffer from sciatica or any kind of low back pain. Decompressing the spinal cord. And then I'm going to inhale back to center. Place my hands down on the mat for a little stability. I'm going to come onto my right knee and just wiggle my legs together a little more fully. So you may not be able to touch here, but you'll eventually work your way into it. Sit down in between your feet. Again, you may need a block or a blanket here. And if you're really open, you can move your feet out towards the front more. So now I'm going to take my right arm up and down my back. This may be as far as you can come here. Just push the elbow back, stretching out the quad and even into the lat muscle. If you can bring your left arm around your back, interlace the fingers, open up here. Release the hands, unwind. Now I'm going to take the bottom foot, my right foot, and I'm going to bring my shin even with the front of the mat or work towards it and bring my left foot on top of my right knee. So your feet are in fire log or double pigeon pose. This is a pretty intense stretch. So if you really feel it, if you start to feel pain in the knees, you definitely want to back off, and you can actually bring the feet in more, so angle them more to release some of that pressure. So inhale up here, and then exhale, try to bring the knees down together, folding. I'm pretty tight right now because I have been doing some more weightlifting and stair climbing and all of that, so I'm pretty sore and tight. You never want to come to a point of pain in a stretch. Just come to the point of uncomfortable. So coming back to the double pigeon. Let's see, I had it the other way. I inhale back up, turn my body to the left, and exhale, fold over that left knee. This gets even more into the hips. Definitely keeping the back flat here. Inhale back up and exhale. This time we'll turn to the right and you'll really feel the stretch in that hip on this one, especially especially if you have a muscle imbalance and one hip is a lot tighter than the other, like mine. Inhale back up. From here, I like to take the leg that's on the bottom and scoot it in more towards my inner left thigh. Take my left leg and straighten it out. I'm going to back up so I can stay on my mat here. So try to get the outside of your legs at a 90-degree angle here. You want to flex your quad and pull your toes back. Any muscle you're stretching, you want the opposite side to be flexed to help the body open up more. So I'm going to turn my body towards my left leg. Inhale up, flat back, and exhale, walk out. Try to even get your navel to come over top of that left leg. I like to grab the outside left side of my left foot to help my body turn. And then exhale, fold, fold, not round, low belly down first. And this stretch here is one of the main stretches for sciatica. It stretches out that lumbar region of the low back on the right side, decompressing those discs that trap the nerve. And as you breathe deeper, just want to see how far you can come without pain. Inhale back up to a flat back. And this is where I take my right leg and flip it around towards the back, opening up, 90-degree angle, or much of an angle, wide as an angle as you can get here. I'm going to turn towards my left leg again. Inhale, flat back, and exhale, fold down. Very intense stretch for the hamstring. Inhale back up. I'm going to bring my right leg around to the front and open up wide. Pull the toes back, flex the quads, and fold down the middle for hamstrings and the groin stretch here. Inhale, push back up. You can assist your legs up and together, crossing them. Then place your hands down in front. Send your legs back and push back into that down dog position again. Get some blood flow back. I like to work those hips out, bend the knees. If you have any problems with stress and anxiety, doing a flow like this daily or bi-daily, however you would say it, every other day, even a few days a week, helps so much. Now I'll do the same thing on the other side. Step my left leg up, coming into low lunge, straightening out that back leg. Lower down the back knee. Heel toe your left leg out to the side and push that left knee open. From here, take your left hand, pull it around for your right foot, and pull that right foot in. For those of you that didn't see it on the other side, I'll show you here. The left leg is out at an angle. I'm reaching my right foot in, really flexing the glute to open up that hip flexor more. Release. I'm going to come back to the front. So from here, make sure your knee is back far enough that you feel a stretch in that hip flexor. Heel toe the left foot to the right side of the mat. Now I'm a lot more open on this side, so my shin will be even more parallel with the front. I'm going to drop my left knee down, scoop my right knee back. Inhale up, flat back, and exhale, lower down. Inhale, push back up. Walk up to that pigeon prep and then put your weight into your left hand. Reach your right hand around for your right foot. Pull that right foot in just like we did in the last pose, lizard pose. So you can even see my foot here. Peekaboo. Release that back leg. Now you should have a little more openness in the front of that right leg, so scoot the right knee back some more. Inhale up, pigeon prep, and exhale, fold. Inhale, push on up. We'll do the same thing we did on the other side. So lean your weight over into your left hip. Sling your right leg around. Stomp it on the outside of that left knee. Why I keep getting a cramp here, I don't know. Just working different parts of the body, I guess. Inhale up here. Left arm up. Hook it to the outside of the right knee. Turn. Inhale, come back to center. I'm going to wiggle onto my left knee here. Bring my legs together, sit down in between my feet. This time I'll bring my left arm up, down my back, and either just push that elbow back, stretching out the tricep, or bring the right arm around. I'm a little less flexible on this side from shoulder injury. And you can hold or you can fold here. I've been pretty tight in my shoulders, so I like to just keep it straight here to focus more on the shoulders, since this workout focuses so much on the hips and legs. When I actually do some arm flexibility, I really focus on it. Release the hands. Take the bottom leg, bring it parallel with the front of the mat. Take the left foot on top of the right knee, flex both feet back. Now, as you can see, I'm much tighter my right leg than my left. Inhale up, flat back, and exhale, fold. Inhale back up. And I like to take a little bit longer on this side because it is so much tighter than the other. So inhale, exhale, turn to the left and fold down over that right foot. Should really feel an intense stretch in that right hip. Inhale up, turn to the right, and exhale, fold. Inhale back up. So now I'm going to take my bottom leg and pull it in to my inner right thigh and extend my left leg out. Open the legs out to 90-degree angle on the outside. Pull the toes back, flex the quads, inhale up, and exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up. Now I'm just going to flip my left leg to where my foot faces the back and open up the gap here as much as I can. Still turn my shoulders and my torso towards my right leg. Inhale with a flat back. Pull the toes back, flex the quad, and exhale, fold over that right leg. Inhale, come on up. Now I have been working my way into splits for a few years now, and I'm still not there, so you can take half splits here, or you can begin to shimmy your knees apart, your legs apart, making sure you flex your left butt cheek. If your right leg is forward, flex your left butt cheek, flex your right quad, pull your right toes back, and just come down as far as you can without pain. And I've been working towards getting a little deeper, so folding over the front. And then reaching around for the back. Working my way a little deeper. I feel like I'm never gonna get the splits, y'all. All right, let's bring those legs back together. Work some blood flow back in. We can take it on the other side. So extend that left leg forward. Come into half splits pose here, or work your way into full splits, or close to it as you can get. Almost have it on this side. Potential spam. Don't we all get those all the time? I keep getting calls saying my social security number's been canceled. I'm like, am I dead? Reach that right arm around for the right leg. Release the right leg. Try to come down just a little further. I'm only about 1.5 inches away. Never gonna get there. All right, so bring those legs back together. Now I do one of my favorite feel-good poses. So, spinal twist. Lay down onto the back. Extend the legs out, the arms out to a T. Bring your feet up to 90 degrees and your knees. Let your knees fall to the right and look over to the left. You can even intensify this by bringing the right leg on top of the left. And then I like to even bring my right arm up off the ground and twist myself, force myself over to the left even more. Release, unwind. Bring your knees back to center. I like to move my hips over to the right just a tad to keep my spine in line. Drop my knees to the left, look to the right. If you want to take it deeper, move that left leg down and on top of the right leg. And then move your left arm over, grab it with your right hand, and pull your body over to the right. Really twisting your body, squeezing those organs. This is very good. Any kind of twisting motion acts as like a sponge to, I don't know, squeeze your organs and detoxify them. So after you do these twists like this, it's always good to drink lots of water to eliminate those toxins through urine excretion. Release. And come back to center. Now you can take your Shavasana here. I don't quite have time. I got to get ready for work. So I just wanted to put this out there and say if you enjoyed watching this video, make sure you check out my YouTube channel, Warrior Yoga and Training. I have so many different kinds of videos for every level of fitness, meditation videos. So just check me out. Warrior Yoga and Training on YouTube. Until then, stay strong, warriors. Namaste.